All right, welcome to the relationship show. This guy writes his post. I asked someone out for the first time, did I do it right? Well, in regards to that, there's usually a structure that gives you the best results and the highest success rate. But if you succeeded in getting a date or asking her out, I mean, man, that's awesome. That's what you wanted. That's the outcome that you were going for, and the outcome was achieved. And so it's like the means aren't as necessary unless if you achieve the outcome. But let's check it out. So a couple of days ago, I was roller skating with a couple of my friends. One of my friends tapped me and asked me if I think a girl is cute. I agreed with them, and they encouraged me to go talk to her. Okay. I have never asked someone out in a public place and not in a couple of years. So this is the first time I've asked anyone out outside of high school. So I was pretty nervous to start the conversation. I've never done this before, but I knew how to roller skate. And she was learning. So I thought I'd offer advice and start a conversation from there. It's like, yeah, well, if she's trying to roller skate, you can roller skate. That's a conversation, icebreaker. Great. It's like notice something in the environment that you're commonly doing. And that's really all you need to break the ice. And you don't have to have some pickup line. It's just like have a regular conversation. Once the two of you get comfortable with each other and you know that her attraction is there, that's when you make a move. That's when you ask her out. Be direct, decisive, get to the point. Have a location already set. Assume that she will say yes. Hey, when are you free to get together? What's your schedule availability like? Something like that. Because that coming from that place is a much stronger position to come from, and it's more certain and confident place to come from versus being unsure. Like, hey, do you think maybe that I could, take you out to dinner sometime? That's more uncertain. You want to be certain, direct, decisive, confident. This worked as far as breaking the ice, talking about skating, and I was able to talk to her for quite a bit. Awesome. Now two of you are getting more comfortable. Her name was Caitlin, and she worked at an Olive Garden. We talked about work. I encouraged her while she was skating and complimented her hair and how nice she was. Okay, awesome. It's like, well, yeah, if you're going to give compliments, make sure it's coming from the heart. So it's like if she really does have great hair, it's like, whoa, you have incredible hair, something like that. So it's not like, oh, I have to say like, oh, you have nice hair or you have nice eyes or something like that. It's like if you're trying to intellectual, think if that's going to work. It's probably not going to. It's like you have to say something from your heart and what you truly mean. And finally, I said it. By now, I was quiet for a couple of minutes, and for fear of being awkward, I told her, I'm going to be honest. I wanted to ask you out, but I didn't know how to say it without being awkward. Awesome, dude. It's like, well, it's like you are saying what you feel, totally. And you have the courage to do that, and that's not always easy to do, especially with someone you just started talking to in a situation like this. That's awesome. Sadly, she was already in a relationship. Okay, well, sometimes that sucks, but sometimes it is true that they are in a relationship, but sometimes it's not. And they just tell you that because it's like they don't want to hurt your feelings or tell you straight up that, hey, I'm not interested. But regardless, whether it's true or not, it's like you have to back off. It's like, well, you have an attitude where it's like kind of your loss. You walk away, give her that space, and that's it. You don't say, oh, why, or are you sure, or things like that, or do you actually have a boyfriend? Just don't eliminate all that stuff. It's like you're cool either way if she says yes or she says no. I didn't feel bad though. Excellent. This was super out of my comfort zone, and my friends were encouraging of my success and putting myself out there. Awesome. I was proud of myself. Yeah, you should be, man. She was also very encouraging. I explained that I haven't asked anyone out before. That's a mistake right there. You shouldn't say that. That's like, oh, I've never done this. I've never asked a girl out, or I've never dated anyone before. It's like, oh, she wants to make a decision on someone who actually is successful with other women. So I'd eliminate that one. And she said I did very well. So yeah, that's not a good sign. And should definitely try to ask out other girls later on. She's like, okay, now that almost communicates that she's not interested in you. So she's like, you'll find somebody, you really deserve somebody that's better, or somebody that's perfect for you. And what she's saying by that, something in regards to that, is, you should find somebody else who's interested in you because I'm not interested in you. Sucks, but I just know that that's a lot of the case. That's what she means by saying things like that. All in all, it was a great learning experience. Totally. Every time you do something like this, you get better, you get more comfortable. It's awesome. But I wanted to come here and ask if I did this right. Well, you had the courage to do it. You had the courage to approach somebody, especially in person. That takes so much more courage. What you did right was just having a regular conversation, talking about something like her work, talking about something in the environment with the roller skating. But then I think where you went wrong was you were being a little bit unsure of her saying yes and say, "Oh, I've never done this before," and basically communicating your inexperience. It's like you want to be direct, decisive, confident, and assume that she will say yes, because you're coming from a place of, I have a lot of value, and it's really an opportunity and really a privilege to go on a date with me. It's like you have that attitude, and then your success rate will be so much higher. I am a big guy, 6'1", 240, so I have a fear of being intimidating. Or because I'm a bit awkward, that makes me seem creepy. What do y'all think? No, I don't think it has anything to do with you being big. And actually, I think that can be a benefit. But I would say just how you asked her out. It's like, I think you did a lot of things right. But then once you went to ask her out, you just weren't very confident. And you might have been pretty nervous. And so she could probably tell from your body language or tone of voice that you were nervous. And so, develop some confident body language. Also, what she's going to do, what most women do, is check you with eye contact. So she's going to make eye contact with you initially, and then she's going to see if you look away. And she's going to find out a lot of information about your self-worth, whether or not you look away or not. So it's like when she first does that from the first interaction, you want to be the one who just maintains eye contact and wait for her to look away. After that, you don't have to like game her out or try to do things like that. Don't have to make it like this eye battle kind of deal. It's like, don't do that afterwards, but you want to do it from the very start, just to kind of establish that and communicate that you're confident in yourself. So, chest up, not back, not forward or slouch. It's like up, straight up, like there's a string from the sky up to this part, like where your chest meets. And so you're up like that, confident. You're not covering up your like emotional center, or have like your arms crossed or something like this, or you're holding something in front of you. Eliminate all that, because it's like a more open position, communicates more confidence. When you walk up to her with like a certainty when you move. So it's like you have an outcome where you move. And then have an approach where you're gauging her attraction. Your outcome is not to get her on a date, because you're not attached to the result. You're good with her saying yes or no, but your outcome is to gauge her level of interest. So it's like when you do that, oftentimes it becomes a lot more easy as well, because you have the opportunity to walk away, and if her attraction isn't there. So it's like you go up there, test if her attraction's there by, is she asking you questions? Is she kind of excited that you approach her? Is she smiling a lot at you? Things like that. And so just like if you feel that there is an attraction there from her to you, that's when she really invites you to ask her out or ask to get her number. And that's when you do it. So that's what I would do. Approach it from, let's see, engage her attraction level. If it's there, ask her out. Have a plan and take the lead. So it's like, hey, well, what about this restaurant, this time? Or you ask her, hey, what days are you free? She gives you a day. Then you say, hey, okay, what about 6 o'clock, Red Robin on that day, on Friday? It's like, yeah, I can do that. It's like, great, excellent. So what's your number? I get her number. It's like, okay, I'll text you mine. If something comes up, you can call me. And then if someone comes up with me, I'll call you. But otherwise, I'll just see you Red Robin Friday at 6. That work for you? She's like, yeah, great. See you there at 6. Have a good time. Got it.